There was a young man named Alex who had always known exactly who he was, or at least he thought he did. At 22, he had his entire life mapped out like a well-organized spreadsheet. He would work at his father's accounting firm, marry his college sweetheart by 25, buy a house in the suburbs by 30, and have 2 children by 35. Everything was planned, everything was certain, everything was safe. But then something shifted. It started small. A tightness in his chest when he walked into the office each morning. A distant feeling when his girlfriend talked about their future. A voice in his head that whispered, "Is this really what you want?" He ignored it at first, pushing it down like unwanted mail stuffed into a drawer. But the feeling grew louder. One evening, Alex sat in his apartment staring at a blank wall, and for the first time in his life, he couldn't answer a simple question. Who am I? The breaking point came on an ordinary Tuesday. Alex was sitting at a meeting, listening to his colleagues debate tax regulations, when suddenly he felt like he was watching himself from outside his body. Who was this person in the gray suit, nodding along to conversations he didn't care about? That night, he called his best friend Marcus. "I feel like I'm falling apart," Alex confessed, his voice cracking. "I don't know what I want anymore. I don't know who I am." Marcus was quiet for a moment before he said something Alex would never forget. "Maybe you're not falling apart. Maybe you're falling into place. Think about it. A caterpillar completely dissolves in its cocoon before it becomes a butterfly. To anyone looking from the outside, it would look like the caterpillar is dying. But it's not dying, it's transforming. Maybe feeling lost isn't a sign that something's wrong with you. Maybe it's a sign that you're growing." Those words planted a seed in Alex's mind. Over the following weeks, he began to notice something. Every time he had grown in his life, learning to walk as a toddler, starting a new school, going to college, there had been a period of discomfort, of not knowing. Growth had never been comfortable. He started to see his confusion not as a failure, but as a chrysalis, a necessary stage of transformation. Alex began to explore. There were days when the uncertainty felt unbearable, days when he wanted to retreat back to the safety of his old life, but he kept going. One Saturday, Alex found himself hiking alone in the mountains. As he climbed higher, he noticed how the trail would sometimes disappear completely, forcing him to navigate using only his instincts. It reminded him of where he was in life. He sat down on a rock overlooking a vast valley and realized something profound. The people who seem most certain about their path are often the ones who have stopped growing. Feeling lost wasn't a sign of weakness. It was a sign of courage. It meant he was brave enough to admit that the life he'd built wasn't serving him anymore. He thought about all the versions of himself he'd been, the child, the teenager, the college student. Each one had felt so permanent at the time, but each one had dissolved to make room for the next. Why should this be any different? Slowly, things began to change. Alex didn't wake up one morning with all the answers, but he started to feel more like himself than he had in years. He left his father's firm and took a job at a nonprofit working on environmental conservation. He ended his relationship, not because she was bad, but because they were on different paths. He moved to a smaller apartment that felt more like home. And most importantly, he made peace with not knowing. 2 years later, Alex stood in front of a group giving a talk. Someone asked, "How did you know you were making the right decision?" Alex smiled. "I didn't. I felt terrified. I felt lost, but I realized that feeling lost wasn't a sign I was on the wrong path. It was a sign I was on a new path." You feel lost because you're growing. Don't be afraid of feeling lost. Be afraid of staying in a place where you've stopped growing just because it feels safe. The truth is this: life is not a straight line. It's a spiral, a labyrinth, a journey with detours and unexpected turns. The moments when you feel most lost are often the moments right before a breakthrough. You feel lost because you're growing. You feel uncertain because you're expanding. You feel confused because you're evolving. So if you're in that place right now, in that dark cocoon where everything feels uncertain, hold on, keep going. Your wings are forming, even if you can't see them yet. The caterpillar doesn't know it's becoming a butterfly. It just knows something is changing. Trust your transformation. Your wings are coming.